Communication Error.
Welcome to episode 41 of Communication Error, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Cheesy, and the man who is now going to introduce the 10 other hosts that will be joining this show, John Ebo.
So we have John Ebo 1, John Ebo 2. It's just going to be the John Ebo shows.
Oh, I hate it already.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be awful.
So,
because you know what's worse than one John Ebo?
Is
8
two
other
John Ebos? So a lot of people might not get that reference, but our friends at Carpool Gaming just announced their next chapter, and they revealed a whole bunch of new hosts, and I'm excited for them. That's really cool. So if you like anything and everything gaming, check out Carpool Gaming. We had Seth on, and we also had Lockleth, yeah, I'm blanking. We also had Lockleth, and we might have some other guests come on from them, hopefully, if they'll have us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. They it looks like they have a really diverse group over there, so that's exciting.
And so it's all they have the PlayStation Drive, the Xbox Drive, which should be an interesting podcast going forward.
Well, there won't be an Xbox Drive anymore.
Will be the Drive, I think is what Sean said.
The multi-platform Drive.
Yeah, Nintendo Drive. They have an RPG Cave. Just a ton of different podcasts. If that's something that you're into and you're not listening to Carpool Gaming already, you are doing yourself a disservice, because they are just great people, really working hard and making gaming a better, brighter place. And they're very community driven. So I know that they have like a lot of community nights. They do some backlogs. They have, forget what it's called, but where everybody is just playing the same game, basically like a book club. But everyone gets to discuss their experience with that game. Backtrackers, I think is what it's called. But yeah, just really awesome people, and we couldn't be more excited for them.
Yeah, that's exciting. We're community driven too. Don't forget to leave your comments so we could have them on the community patch notes episode, which I always forget to put that in the title. And then somebody asked me, when's the community patch note episode coming out? On the community patch note episode.
Yeah.
Put in the title.
Yeah, no, and I understand their confusion, but also like we do try to get to as many comments as people have left. Sometimes it's like our guest is just speaking, and you just let them speak, which I personally think that we have a really cool guest for next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to spoil that now.
Not right now. Well, yeah, not right now. Not until we tell the people what we're talking about, at least.
Yeah. But you guys are gonna want to listen to that episode. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Leave us 5-star reviews, and tell your parents about the podcast. Tell your teacher, even tell your boss. And you know what? If they say like, "Hey, you were late. Why didn't you show up?" and you told them that you were listening to the Communication Error podcast, they'll totally forgive you. They'll understand.
And they'll drop 5-star reviews.
Yeah. And any review that you leave, any 5-star, we will read it on the show.
Yeah. We didn't get any new reviews this week. We're almost at 30 reviews on Spotify. So actually, I think we're almost at 30 reviews on both Spotify and Apple. So try to get to that 30 review mark. Make sure they're 5 stars. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We broke 200 subscribers. We're at 206 right now. That's pretty exciting. Follow us on Twitter. Check out the Patreon, where you do get a day early access to the episodes. And hopefully we have more stuff coming there.
Yeah. All of the server maintenance stuff out of the way, quick and easy. Because, Johnny, I think you and I are both really excited to talk about tonight's topic, mostly because we have gotten away with it so many times on this show, and it's not gaming related. But tonight it is.
It's gaming adjacent.
Yeah. and it works.
It's a gaming adjacent episode, but yeah, I'm really excited for this episode because I love theme parks. And we're talking about video games and theme parks. This is not
Yeah,
going to be a
gaming.
debate in any, like, I feel like the debate part of this podcast has kind of trickled away, but it's just going to be me gushing over theme parks for an
I mean,
hour.
I think we still might find ways to debate with each other. I hear what you're saying. Like that's something that you and I discovered early on is that the debates just like you can't have that for a full hour.
Yeah.
And also choose topics where one person is this side, the other person is this side. But there, I think there's we get into moments where it's like, hey, shut up, you're wrong.
But yeah, we are talking about theme parks and video games, and our guest next week, it goes by what, Theme Park Stop? That's the channel name.
Yeah, they just reached 100,000 subscribers on their YouTube. They've been doing this for 7 years, just theme park content. So well deserved. If you're not following them, please go give them a follow. Help them out even more, because this is going to be huge for them. I mean, like, I'm so
Yeah, it's gonna be
excited to talk to
huge
them.
that they're on the Communication Air podcast.
No. It's their journey of continuing to create content around theme parks is going to just get bigger from here because it's the biggest that it has been, I think. But yes, also being on Communication Error, like that is going to be probably
That's
their
gonna be the
biggest
highlight
moment.
of their 7-year journey. You know?
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we hit
Yeah.
100K on YouTube. That's nothing compared to
Yeah.
being on the Communication Air podcast.
Exactly. That's what everybody's goals are.
Exactly. And we also, I'm changing things up a little bit. I did a little bit of work. It's nothing that fancy, but we're gonna have visual aids moving forward. Cheesy won't be
Which
able to
is
see what I'm talking about. Maybe I should
yeah, a
send him
little
the
scary.
links.
It's a little scary because like I don't know what he's showing you guys. This could all just be propaganda, and I don't get to be a part of it. So you let me know if there's some questionable things that you're seeing.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So, what is your background with theme parks? Like, have
Oh.
you gone to a lot? Like, or are you well
So
versed or anything?
yeah, I mean, I was pretty spoiled as a kid, and I've gone to Disneyland. I've gone to Disney World. We even did a Disney cruise. I've been to Universal Hollywood a couple of times, but never Orlando, which I know obviously is the better one. But I haven't been, and that's something on my list. Um, but yeah, I mean, like going to theme parks is just so magical, especially going to Disney where all of your favorite characters are out and about, or just even going on the storybook rides and like the Peter Pan ride is so memorable because you're just flying on a ship and you look down and you see like the whole town, and it feels like you can fly. uh so I mean there's that. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I just love going to theme parks, and even as an adult, um, I think it's good to have that childhood wonderment. We've brought this up before. Like that's probably why we like Nintendo, is because it makes us feel like a kid again. So going to theme parks, I can't get enough of, and it's a good escape. What
Yeah, I
about
mean,
you?
I grew up in an area that was like an hour away from a local theme park. It was, it wasn't Disney size. It was, uh, you had to buy tickets for rides, and it was like free parking. So it was like it was a nice area to have like a family picnic or like a company picnic. There's a couple roller coasters.
Are you
Not
talking
a
about Hershey Park?
Well, no, I mean, I am near-ish. We did go to Hershey Park a lot. That was more, I would say, intense, or like there was more to do at Hershey Park
Oh,
than
okay.
than there is at this one. The one that I went to is called Knoebels. It's it's like a Pennsylvania one. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody's listening from Pennsylvania, but they would probably know what Knoebels is. There's also Dorney Park, which you might have heard of. I don't know. That
Mm-mm.
it used to have like the tallest roller coaster in the world, or in the U.S. at least. But that
Okay.
was years and years ago. So yeah, I grew up around amusement parks. We used to go to them like every summer, and I loved them. I never really enjoyed roller coasters until I got older.
Mm.
Now I like roller coasters, and now as an adult, like I just went to Disney over the week of Christmas, and then the year before we went to Disney, and then a few years, like 5 years, yeah, 5 years back, we went to Universal down in Orlando. So we go all out. Like we they call it bounding. So you don't dress. It's not cosplay, so you can't dress as a character. Like I couldn't go as Han Solo. I had to be like a rebel.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to go all out for that stuff. Got really cool pictures, and we get really into it. And now I think, like, we'll talk about something tonight that I think me and my partner are really excited for. It would like I can't wait to talk to Theme Park Stop to see how they like got into this and how I can do it, because I'm gonna shift focus. But no, I love theme parks. I love, like, this past Disney trip was incredible. We ate at Cinderella's Castle. We went on as many of the rides as we could. We did do the Peter Pan's flight. Was not impressed with that ride.
What, like that was the first time that you did? I knew as soon as I was talking about it, you had something to say. Like
Yeah.
you,
That is not a
yeah.
good ride. That is not a good ride.
It's a
I don't
no, it is a
understand
good
why
ride
I don't understand why, like, that ride always has an extremely long line. Like it had like
because
an
it's
hour and a half
completely
wait.
different than the other storybook rides.
Well, it's not worth it. It's not worth waiting 90 minutes for. I can guarantee you that. We got the lightning lanes, or the fast pass, whatever you want to call them. So
Hmm.
that we were able to get onto that ride like without waiting that long. But I would not wait 90 minutes, 2 hours. Nothing is worth waiting that long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the rides are over in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, like the Star Wars ride, the Rise of Resistance, there was at times 3.5 hour waits, and it's like a 2 minute ride. You're wasting half your day.
Hmm.
But not everybody's as fortunate as I was, and I just bought my way onto these things.
Yeah, I guess for me too. Like I had a theme park around me. It was the Six Flags Elitch Gardens, and so that had a lot of Warner Brother IP in that park. And there was one show that was just so fun to watch as a kid. It was a Batman show, and like all the theatrics that they had for it was super cool. You had Batman just like zip lining onto the scene, and the Riddler was the big bad guy, and made me really sad when they took the Warner Brother characters out of Six Flags. Six Flags just wasn't a thing anymore.
Oh,
It just
really? They
became
don't have
Elitch.
because I went to Six
We,
Flags. Oh man, I was probably in high school, so yeah, it was like 15 years ago.
I think they still do in some areas. Like it still is called Six Flags, whatever it is. But for us, I don't know like how all of that works, but we just have Elitch Gardens now, and it is very depressing. It's not very fun. It's sad that that's the only theme park that we have. I guess it's like we have a couple of theme parks, but they're very old, and like one still has a wooden roller coaster that is still fun, but also it's a wooden roller coaster.
I love
That
wooden
is
roller coasters. You don't like wooden roller coasters?
no, of course I love them, but it's also just very scary the way that they're built.
They're all rickety, and
Yeah.
so I mean, I don't go to amusement parks like outside of Disney or Universal.
Hmm.
Like I'm not just gonna go to her. Well, I guess Hershey I might go to, but like like the one I used to go to as a kid, I'm not just gonna go there. Like
Yeah.
it's not the amusement park that I like. It's the theming
Yeah.
of Disney and Star Wars, like the IP that I enjoy, which
Hmm.
is why I'm really excited that video games are now hopefully. I mean, hopefully, video games are gonna get more into it. Because I go to it for theming and not really for like the. I don't need to go on a fast roller coaster. Like that's not exciting to me. Like if it's just
It
like
adds to the experience, though,
yeah,
right?
but if it's a themed roller coaster or
Yeah.
like the one in Disney is called the Seven Dwarves Mine Cart.
Yeah.
So it has the Snow White theming, and
Hmm.
then the Tron coaster is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Like that theming kind of adds to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we're gushing about theme parks, but the reason why we're talking about it is just we've had a lot of news about Super Nintendo World. And obviously, it's crazy to think that we are at the 1 year anniversary for Universal Hollywood and the plans that they have going forward. But they're not the only ones that have entered the theme park space, because we've had a Last of Us like set for Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Orlando or
So
Hollywood, maybe just
actually,
Universal.
I
Yeah.
looked up. I'm showing this on the screen right now. You can't see it. It's a list of video game amusement park attractions.
Okay.
There's not that many.
Yet.
I don't think there will be. I think Nintendo's going to be the ones that do it, and that's it. I'll get into that. But
Okay.
there's one called Pac-Man Land. This one was in Six Flags in Texas, but I think it opened in 1983, and I think it closed in 1985. So that's no longer there.
Whoa.
There's
Okay.
two. There were two Tomb Raider rides. I don't know where these are. King's Island, King's Dominion. I don't know where that's at. Virginia looks like, and they were both removed in 2011. There's Tack Attack. It's in Nickelodeon Universe.
Okay.
This is in China, but it looks like it was replaced by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a Sonic Spinball in Alton Towers, which is in UK. There's an Arkham Asylum in Warner Brothers Movie World, which is in Australia. These are all random parks.
Hmm.
There's Angry Birds 4D, Detonator Bombs Away. I think these are all Angry Birds stuff. Time Machine, which is Raving Rabbids in France.
That checks out.
There's a Plants vs Zombies.
Oh, that's surprising. Where's that one
There,
at?
Carowinds, which is in North Carolina.
Okay.
It's an interactive dark ride. This doesn't really have like very descriptive things
Hmm.
about it, but there's Gears of War Laser Siege, which is like laser tag.
Hmm.
Resident Evil, a Bio Terror,
Hmm.
it says interactive 3D trackless dark ride. That sounds cool. There's Azura's Wrath. Oh my goodness. Dragon Age Flight of the Wardens. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. This is in some place called Hub Zero. It doesn't tell me where this is at.
Hmm.
But then there's a Mass Effect New Earth in California. And the ones that most people probably would know or have uh, actually been on, there's a Final Fantasy ride in Universal Studios Japan, Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge in Japan, and then also California, and
Yep.
Yoshi's Adventure, which is in Japan. I don't think that one's in California, is it?
No, it's not.
And then the
But
last
will
one,
be coming to Universal Orlando.
yeah. The last one's Uncharted: The Enigma of Penitence. This one opened in 23. I don't know. Oh, it's in Spain. Okay, it's in Spain. So
But I
there's
gotta be honest with you, like it sounds like there's a lot more than I was expecting.
well, a lot of these are shut down. But
I'm sure.
when you compare it to Disney, like Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom, how many rides are in Magic Kingdom? There's like 20 plus rides in Magic Kingdom,
Hmm.
and you're only getting 20 total ride. These are rides. These are not parks. These are rides.
But also,
In the
like, how much
entire
of them?
world, 20 rides out of all of the amusement parks there are in the world.
But how much of them are like VR rides? Do you know what I mean? Because some of them, like a Mass Effect one, sounds cool if it was like in VR,
It
and
says a
like
3D
sometimes,
simulator ride.
yeah. So I don't know.
I don't think it's I don't think there's many, and I don't think there's going to be many.
Yeah. So you said that you think Nintendo's going to be the only one that enters the theme park space.
Yeah,
Why is that?
so Nintendo, their IP and their worlds are set up perfectly for amusement parks. Like you
Hmm.
see it at Super Nintendo World, and like that seems like an amusement park world.
Hmm.
But if you want to do Last of Us, or I don't know, like what kind of world would that be? That would be like a horror amusement park. Like how many of those would happen?
Yeah. Well, they are opening a like Hollywood Horror Night all year round in Vegas. So depending on like what it is that they choose to do there, I mean, they probably could have The Last of Us there year round if they wanted.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think they're gonna Sony. So the way I could see video games trying, like they're trying to expand their IP, right? Every company right now is trying to expand their IP. We're seeing it with Nintendo and their movies and the amusement park. Sony
And
is getting
collabs.
more into the movies and shows, and
Hmm.
Microsoft is now gonna put their stuff on all the other platforms. So they're just
Allegedly.
no, it's 100% happening. So Nintendo's strategy is amusement parks, and they have the relationship with Universal to do it. And I don't see the other companies getting into the space unless Super Nintendo World is like a huge hit, and then maybe Sony. Like, where would they put it? Where would they put it?
Where who would put what?
Like
What do you mean?
Sony, where would Sony put a park, or Microsoft put a park?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, would they make their own amusement park? Would they partner up with um I don't know. Like, I just am not familiar with that world as much as our guest Alicia Stella is. Um but I wish that Nintendo would have thought their, it took them a long time to come up with this concept and what they wanted the park to look like and what they want to do. I wish though that they would have thought it through a little more than it just being a Mario Park right now, because it's Super Nintendo World, but right now it is just Mario.
Yeah, I mean, for now.
For now, yeah. But at least with California, I have no idea how they're going to expand that park. And
Because
if
they're
they
not, they
do,
can't. There's no room.
there's no room. But there's the Simpsons area that is probably going to leave because they're now owned by Disney. So I could see them putting something there. But what's really weird about that for Hollywood is that would be on two different levels. The Super Nintendo World is on the lower level, and
Yeah, but that
the
doesn't
Simpsons
matter. That doesn't
area.
matter. That doesn't matter. Like the way I don't know if so. I've been to Universal. I went to Universal in Florida,
Mhm.
and there's two Harry Potter parks, and they're not in the same park. They're not like there's two Harry Potter worlds. They're not in the same park. So
Hmm.
you have to. It's actually really cool, and I hate it so much because J.K. ruined everything for me. because the way they're connected, or the way you could get in between each of them, is you could take the Hogwarts Express, and that is like so cool. So like
Yeah.
the way I could see Super Nintendo World, say it is on a lower level, you take like a warp pipe down.
Yeah, that would be. Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that'd be
mean, I
cool.
think there's ways you could do it, and I did want to. I'm gonna bring this up. So one of the things that was just announced, I don't know, was it last week? Might have been last week.
Mhm.
The Universal is opening a brand new park. It's called Epic Universe,
Yeah.
and Super Nintendo World is going to be part of that. This is in Florida. So the one out
Mm-hmm.
in California is already open. That's in, I don't know where that's at, but that's in one of the Universal parks already out there. The one in Florida is going to be in a brand new park. And I think they will expand there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so right now, for our listeners, there's rumors of a Legend of Zelda park. We've seen Enuma in a hard hat just recently at, I believe it was Japan, uh, Universal Studios, but I'm not sure. There's rumors of a Luigi's Mansion ride. There's rumors of Pokemon Park taking over the kids area in Universal Orlando. So, yeah, I mean, this is just the beginning for Nintendo and theme parks. And there's just so much that they can do and so much that I would love to see them do. Like, I put out on Twitter that I would love to see a Able Sisters like building that is just a Build-A-Bear workshop where you could build all of your favorite Animal Crossing villagers the same way that you do at Build-A-Bear, but like they already have that partnership with Build-A-Bear. There's already Animal Crossing villagers. Like you can get KK, you can get Isabelle, but imagine going to Super Nintendo World and getting exclusively your favorite villagers and bringing them home with you. I think that would be so cool. I think they could also do Splatoon concerts. You know, they already have the technology for it. Every 15 minutes, there's a new Splatoon concert that you can watch. That would be wild. You know, like there's just so much. Maybe like Luigi's Mansion Dark Ride, where you are sucking up ghosts the same way that like the Buzz Lightyear ride works. So there's just so much potential for them to play, and that's what we have seen so far with their amiibo. Um, I forget what they're called, but the amiibo like play bands.
The
Where
wristbands. And did you
yeah,
see? Oh my goodness! It's it's a 1 year anniversary. You know, I'm actually sure I could actually show it. It's a 1 year anniversary of the Super Nintendo World out in California, and they are celebrating by having a gold Mario play band.
yeah,
But you have to go to the park to get it.
I know.
February 17th. That's like next week. You know what? Remember that, because I want to ask the guest if she's gonna go and get this,
Okay.
or if like she can go and get this. But I mean, these things take forever to plan. I remember hearing about Super Nintendo World for years and years and years before it actually happened, and now we're
It was like
within.
what 2017 maybe is when we
Yeah,
first heard about it.
like how long has Japan been open?
Uh, they
It's been
were
open longer
open.
than California.
Yeah, I feel like it was October of 2022 maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's longer than California. So it's just the start of it. And if
Hmm.
Universal is going to dedicate a whole world to Super Nintendo, because so the thing you have to remember is there's no space in California.
Yeah.
Like Disney has a problem with it, Universal has a problem with it. There's no space to expand.
Hmm.
But in Florida, they have a ton of space. So
Yeah.
they could just expand on that Super Nintendo world
Yeah.
and add Luigi's Mansion or add well, we already know that they're gonna have a Donkey Kong ride at.
Mhm. A park.
Is it a park?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a donkey. So they're already having another park of it, or another type of park with the Donkey Kong, and they're gonna put that Yoshi ride in there too.
Hmm.
So I think there's a lot more space to work with. They're probably testing the waters, seeing how well it does, and we'll go from there. The thing that I'm really excited for, which hold on, I'm gonna bring up pictures of Super Nintendo World. So what's really cool about these new parks or these new areas is it's not like a theme. It is a world.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't. I'm just trying to like front like I'm just trying to think of like Disney.
Hmm.
It's not. It's
You want
not
to,
as
like Galaxy's Edge?
yeah. Galaxy's Edge is like an immersive experience. Like you're in the Star Wars world. It's not like
Yeah.
the area is just themed and has like a Star Wars ride. It's the
Hmm.
actual world, and that's what Universal is doing with this epic universe.
Hmm.
It's they're going to be little worlds. They're not going to be just areas with themed rides. And that's what I really like about it, because we haven't had, I don't even know the last time there was a new like park of this scale that was
Yeah.
opened, especially in Universal.
Hmm.
Um, so I really like the idea of it being a world and not just like an area. It makes it
Yeah,
real
and
fun.
that's something that I think California can work on, because even though it is just the Mushroom Kingdom right now, they need to do a better job of their background, because you can see a minion kind of peeking over Super Nintendo
But
World, which I don't
I
know
don't
if.
think you really can change that. Like I don't think it's
No, I know, but
that's
it's one
more
of
of
the.
like they're working with what they have.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can't put it like in an enclosed dome.
No, they can't put it in a closed dome, but I think even when you're at Disney, they do a good job of making sure that you feel that you are in that world, and not seeing, like if you're in Galaxy's Edge, it's not like you see Iron Man in the distance.
I think you can see the Tower of Terror.
Oh, can you?
I I, I might be wrong, maybe not. But in like Magic Kingdom, they want you to see the castle from all angles.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I don't get hung up on that because I'm not like looking in the distance. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a
Well,
really
I
cool
just
area, but I could see another section of the park that I'm in.
no, I just found it funny because it's like the minions are peeking over Super Nintendo World, and I was wondering if that was just kind of an allegory for Nintendo and Illumination's relationship, or if that's just, like, yeah, they just can't do anything about it. That's just where it was placed coincidentally.
Yeah, I don't think they do too much about that.
Yeah.
So you went to
So
Super Nintendo World,
I did, yeah. I did a preview event a month before it opened.
and was it everything you expected, or
I
everything
mean,
that you
it's a
wanted?
So, I mean, it's a pretty magical moment, because you finally get to be in the world that you've always been playing and maybe dreamed of actually one day being a theme park, or, something that is that grand of a scale for you. Like it really did feel like this was a very personal moment for me, because I'm so connected to Mario and Nintendo. But like I was saying, like it's Super Nintendo World, so I wish that we would have seen other IPs. However, just being there and seeing Peach's Castle, and then going on the Mario Kart ride that is all AR, um, and going around hitting the question mark blocks with the wristband, and them just kind of gamifying your theme park experience, even though, yeah, that is an extra added cost on top of already being at the
Yeah, but it's
park.
worth it. Money isn't real when you're on vacation. It's not real. It's
Yeah,
fake money.
yeah, yeah. But when you get home, it's very real. But no, I mean, for me, I really loved it. Looking back at it, I can say that the park itself is way too small. And from what I was seeing after it opened, people were having like a hard time being in there because it's just so small. Like the people were getting crowded or claustrophobic. And I think there was even one day where the like fire alarm went off and they had no evacuation plan. So that's kind of scary. Um,
That's why you go to Florida.
just because it's bigger.
Yeah, just because it's bigger.
Yeah. Which I mean, I'm really excited for Super Nintendo World to be at Orlando because I've never been. So this gives me just another reason to go out there and experience not only the Mario portion of it, but now there will be the Donkey Kong Country Land and the Yoshi ride that's only exclusive in Japan right now. So to answer your question, yeah, I do think that it was worth it, and I can't wait to see what they do from here. Because like I said, there's so much potential, and especially with Nintendo, you know that they are going to do everything that they can to make that experience special for everyone that goes.
Yeah, and I mean I've been wanting to go to Super Nintendo World out in California, but I knew it was going to be too small. I I've never been out to California for their parks, but I know like we looked into going to Disneyland, and there's only like a couple things that would be like, well, that'd be kind of cool to see, but it's just so small. And
Hmm.
so we just decided like we'll wait because it's this is coming out hopefully opening early 2025. Who knows? But hopefully, I mean, it's opening in 2025, so we're only a year away, so I could wait to see it. But the park does look really cool. It does, they have I like the interactive parts of the park. Like, I don't think many of the other parks in Universal or uh, Disney are that interactive. Harry Potter is kind of interactive. Like, you could do magic stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the interactability. I saw that they're adding some new stuff for the 1 year anniversary. Like I think there's a new cafe being added,
Yeah, the cafe looks cool.
and there's new snacks. One's like a power up drink where you drop a
And
little like fire flower into a drink and it fizzes.
And so those aren't going to be like that cafe is not part of the park, but more of the like downtown area for Universal.
Oh,
The
okay,
same way that there's like a downtown Disney.
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
I think
it's
it's
still
what
cool. I
City
don't
Walk.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are leaning into this partnership with Nintendo. And I do think those rumors are true about them having plans for a Zelda area, for a Pokemon area. Like it would just make sense.
Yeah.
What I'm picturing for a Zelda park is Animal Kingdom. They have the Tree
Hmm.
of Life.
Yeah.
They just have a big great Deku
Oh,
tree. Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
So they'll steal they won't have the Tree of Life, but they'll have the Deku tree.
That's amazing. And little Koroks all around the park that you can
Yeah.
find.
And you could maybe, you know, try to get the Master Sword out of. Like they might just have a Master Sword for taking pictures or something.
That'd be cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah, they
guess
can
I
do.
have to give Nintendo credit because it's not just Mario right now. There are also hidden Pikmin throughout the park.
It's a hint at a Pikmin park because they
There you
really
go.
want people to like Pikmin. Actually, a Pikmin park would be kind of
Y-
cool
I was
because
just thinking that's like Bug's Life.
yeah, you just make everything giant. Like
Yeah.
there's a Toy Story land
Hmm.
in Hollywood Studios, and everything's you feel like you're a toy because
Hmm.
everything's much bigger than you.
Yeah.
So they could They could do something like that for Pikmin. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe like a Metroidvania kind of maze, or a Metroid maze, I
They
guess.
would never. They don't care about Metroid. We'll get a Metroid Park when Metroid Prime 4 comes out. Meaning never.
How would they do like a Splatoon? Like, would it be like a laser tag thing, but with ink? Not like real
Maybe.
ink, but you would like an interactive screen. So like the floor is all screen, and wherever you shoot is like that's the turf
Yeah, I
or
wonder if they
something.
could
I
do
don't
something
know.
where you could have like a turf battle with other people. Like there's two teams
Yeah,
and you do a turf battle. Some of the stuff they could do in rides right now is incredible.
yeah.
Like we rode the Ratatouille ride, and you felt like you were in a little cart, and you're a little mouse, so
Hmm.
you're going around and you're trying to get away from the chefs, and they pump like air that smells like food in it.
Hmm.
It's a cool ride.
I just want to save you from the comments. You felt like a rat, not a mouse.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I got called out last week because I said Joltik is a cute little
Oh
spider.
yeah, yeah. He's not a spider. He's a tick. It's in the name,
Yeah, no, it makes
dummy.
sense now. Makes sense now.
All right. So, what video game IP would you want to see as a theme park? Yeah, that's pretty much it. What
That isn't Nintendo or what?
that is whatever. I mean, I
Well,
feel
I
like
think it's
Nintendo's copping out, so
yeah, but I feel like they've been wanting to do a theme park for so long. You know, they've had so many theme parks in their games. Like Super Mario Sunshine has a theme park in it. Kirby in the Forgotten Land has a theme park in it. But not only that, like Super Nintendo Land for Wii U is just a theme park around Nintendo IP.
yeah, they should have just made it that. They should have just had a real life Nintendo Land
Yeah.
and have like the attractions be whatever the games are.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be really cool. They're
I don't know.
definitely
You that's a good question though, because like the first one that came to mind for me, I guess in the same sense of Mario, just Nintendo having that kind of theme park aesthetic, excuse me, would be Ratchet and Clank. Like I think there's a lot of fun ideas there, but not a lot of people know Ratchet and Clank. And also like the series is not doing well at the
I just
moment,
bought
I
it again.
guess. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I bought
For
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart again.
to play
Play on
on
Steam
the
Deck.
portal.
Yeah,
Oh, Steam Deck.
yeah. So I have it on
Okay.
I have it on PS5, which I could
Mhm.
play it on the portal, but remote play is not the best. So I got it again. It's on sale right now on Steam. So
And are you gonna play it?
oh yeah, I've been playing the heck out of Elden Ring.
That's not that's not Rift Apart.
Yeah, but I mean I don't know. I played most of Rift Apart on PS5.
Oh, okay.
I didn't beat it, but probably
Yeah.
because it wasn't in handheld mode. His handheld's better. I do
Would
think
yeah.
so. I think Halo would be a really cool one they could do.
Mm. Hmm.
That'd be like a more mature kind of like Star Wars theme park, and
Hmm.
people could dress up like a Spartan, or you could build a Spartan. I'm just trying to think of like merchandising opportunity for
Yeah.
these parks.
Yeah, because I mean that is a big part of it is the merch. And so far what I have seen at Super Nintendo World, when I was there at least, that was like the very beginning, the opening of it. It's mostly stuff I feel like you would see on like the Nintendo Store website. So nothing too
Yeah,
big. I've got a Chef Toad figurine that is only exclusive to Super Nintendo World. Like Chef Toad has not been in a game, hasn't been in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Though I would love to see like a Chef Toad cooking game or something. Uh, that's really the only like exclusivity of their merch. I
So
think Sonic would do really well.
yeah, Sonic would do really well, and they might be talking about it because I feel like Mario, as much as I don't like Sonic, I do think Mario and Sonic kind of go together. And
Hmm.
who made the Sonic movie?
Paramount.
Paramount? Are they owned by
Yeah.
anybody?
Not yet. There's talks of a merger happening, so we'll see.
I feel like they're all owned by like Comcast.
I don't think Paramount is.
Because
Universal
Universal,
is
like
owned by
we went to
Comcast.
see Argyle, and it was
Oh yeah.
a Universal, like the Universal logo came up, and then it said a Comcast company at the bottom.
Hmm.
I just thought, I don't know. We live in a monopoly. Everybody's owned
Yeah.
by, it's like Disney or Comcast.
Yeah, it's like that bit in Parks and Rec where it's in the future and it's like presented by Exxon, Chipotle, Verizon.
Yeah, we live in a dystopian future. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Sonic's a good one, and it would work really well because of the movies, and maybe it will get people to actually care about the games.
Yeah, I mean, people do care about the games, Johnny. It's
Maybe it'll
just
make
you
the games
who doesn't
actually
care about
worth
them.
caring about. Those games suck.
No, why do they suck?
I feel like the whole premise is supposed to be got to go fast, momentum. But then if you accidentally miss like one jump, you come to a complete stop, and then it takes forever to get going again. And then they also want you to explore, but you're supposed to go fast. It doesn't make any sense.
You're supposed to explore and go fast. What do you not get about this?
No, you're supposed. It's either or. You don't go fast and explore, or you don't explore and go fast, because that's the whole. It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. Sonic sucks.
Okay. No, to be honest, I don't really play a lot of Sonic games, so
I try to every time I try to get into it. I'm like, I'm gonna give it another go, and every single time it's just like, I want to go fast, but I also want to explore. It doesn't make. I just, yeah, it's lame.
Hmm.
But they could
That's
have a
not
Sonic coaster. Actually, wasn't one of the things a Sonic coaster? Yeah, one of the
that they
rides is a Sonic coaster that's out there in the
or
world. It's called Sonic Spinball.
oh yeah.
It's in
Maybe that's why I thought of
it's in the
Sonic.
UK.
Okay.
But it's not like a Sonic World. It's just a ride.
Yeah.
We want worlds.
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, right now, like Nintendo is the only one that could build that world. I don't see any other gaming company building a world around the IP that they have right now.
Yeah,
Like Sony could build one if they wanted to be like kind of mature with it, I guess. You know, they could have their Last of Us, they could have God of War, they could have a Ratchet and Clank. They can't do Spider-Man or any of the Marvel properties.
because Universal owns it, so they could partner up with Universal. Universal
Yeah.
owns the rights to Spider-Man theme park.
Yeah, it gets so tricky in there.
I hate
I don't
the Spider-Man
understand.
licensing is so confusing.
Yeah. Spider-Man and Hulk, because I think Hulk is still there.
Yeah, Hulk is there. Yeah, because when you go to Disney, I know in California they have like the Avengers campus.
Hmm.
They don't have that in World. Like that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I would go to California is to see the Avengers campus.
Yeah.
But World, like they can't use a lot of the main. Like they have Guardians of the Galaxy. That's their
Uh-huh.
big pull. I mean that's a cool ride, but I'd rather have like an Iron Man ride or a
Hmm.
Thor ride, Captain America. Like they could do some cool things with the main Avenger characters.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like going into this conversation, I was really excited to see more gaming IP get into the theme park space. But you might be right. Like this might be
Might be. I'm always
Nintendo.
right.
No. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying that it might be the only um, gaming opportunity is for Nintendo.
I mean, yeah, I think Nintendo lends itself, like how colorful and fun their stuff is. Like that kind of
Mhm.
lends itself into the amusement park feeling. But so in this new Universal Epic Universe, there's a world called Dark Universe that has all the monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So there
I'm
could
very
be.
just real quick. I'm real sad about Dark Universe because that was going to be a cinematic universe that they were trying to set up, and they started with the Mummy with Tom Cruise,
And that's
and
where
they
they
were
went
gonna.
wrong.
Well, I mean, I haven't
They
seen it,
cast
so I
Tom
don't
Cruise.
know
That's where they went wrong.
what's wrong. I mean, like
He
he's a good
sucks.
actor.
No, he
He's a
sucks.
good. What are you talking about? He sucks.
He sucks.
Okay, well then you fly out of a plane and hold on to it.
He has Napoleon syndrome.
Uh, anyway, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not going to go at bat for Tom Cruise because I've only seen a few of his movies and I'm not like a diehard for him or anything. But, and also, I've never seen any of the Mission Impossibles. I just know he does his own stunts. So,
Also,
but
isn't he?
yeah, they were. Isn't he what?
Nah, I'm not gonna say it because probably won't be. He's Scientology.
He is not anymore. He got out of that a
okay.
while ago.
Still,
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the Dark Universe thing sounded really cool. And I think that it could have done really well. And just after one movie, they were like, nah, this isn't going to work.
now I'm thinking about PlayStation IP, and like God of War would be really cool, especially
Yeah.
the new one of the Norse mythology, because
Yeah.
they have, in the first game you're essentially or in the 2018 version you're in a boat like 85% of the time. That could be an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God of War could be a really cool one because of how just the mythology.
Yeah. Well, now you got me thinking about Wind Waker and how that could work as a
They
boat
could do
ride.
that. They could do a boat
Yeah.
ride. So Avatar, there's like a Pandora world
Mm-hmm.
in Disney, and there's like a boat ride, which kind of sucks. It's not a good one. Definitely don't wait 2 hours to get on it.
Isn't it kind of like a small world?
Kind of, yeah. And then there's like one big animatronic at the end.
Yeah.
But it's just
Which is really impressive.
It's a little underwhelming though, because everything else is it's like CGI. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's all on screens.
Yeah, it's all on screen, so it's not the best. It's not the best, but
Yeah.
that's a boat ride. Yeah, you have a Small World, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, they could do a cool boat ride with Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think like what would be their flying attraction. Pilot Wings. Pilot Wings is coming to Super Nintendo World.
Animal Crossing is I don't even know how they would do an Animal Crossing section.
Like a ride,
you like take out a loan. Yeah, I don't know. Like
I think
that,
you would just have to make it a town. You know, like maybe there isn't a ride necessarily, but
is that exciting though? Like, is that what people want in an amusement park?
I don't know. You said earlier that you don't care about the rides; you care about the theming.
But I like the rides.
Uh-huh.
And I think if it is a park, it should have a ride.
Uh-huh.
Even Epcot has rides.
Yeah.
And that's like going around the world.
So let's see. Like, I guess the only thing I can think of is like Cap'n, That
Another
would be
boat
like
ride.
another boat ride.
This is a whole boat ride theme park.
I think actually that would work as a storybook ride. Maybe that's not the most exciting or what you would want it to be, but for kids and for fans of Animal Crossing, like going through each part of the island and how it's like a rolling log, as you're walking across, everything is kind of like a log and that's how it shows up. Like that would be kind of a cool
Then they could
storybook ride.
then they could do KK's, like a KK
Concert at
slider
the end.
area.
Yeah. Again, if they did like a Splatoon concert, then they could have DJ KK as well.
There's a lot of things they could do. I feel like they will know how to do things better than us.
Oh, for sure.
Was the
Because we're
Mario
just
Kart ride good?
the Mario Kart ride is a lot of fun. Josh from Nintendo Powercast, which is our weekly Nintendo podcast. Um Josh would love it. He would have a great time with it. It is a little overwhelming, over stimulating, I guess, for what I think it's like a maybe 3 minute ride. It's kind of long. Um, but it also, there's so much that's happening because you're wearing like this AR visor, and it's showing like some of the Koopalings, and you got to hit them with I think it's red shells. And the more that you hit, the more points you get. So it's like not really Mario Kart in the sense of how you play Mario Kart. Um, because there's just Koopalings that are just all over the place. And then there's some like Mario friends that you don't want to hit, but it's the way that you enter into all of these different courses. Like there's the Luigi's Mansion course, there's the Bowser course with the big like mechanical Bowser. There's Sky Garden, and then there's a lightning that happens, and then Rainbow Road, and it's so much fun.
I have like the picture pulled up, and the carts look cool. Like I just look at how the
Yeah.
cart looks.
What's not fun is when the ride doesn't work and doesn't accept your power up band, and then you don't get your trophy at the end of the match, which is
The
linked through the Universal app.
See, I mean, a lot of these things, like a lot of these attractions, when we were in Disney, they're down like all the time.
Hmm.
I'm sure it's the same everywhere. Like they're just so complicated now that
Hmm.
they're just down. Like for
Yeah.
Tron, you were supposed to be able to get your picture if you're wearing like a wristband, and we had to call them because it never showed up.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
these
mean, it
rides are
was
not.
down. The Mario Kart ride was down for me when I was there, and I was nervous about that because the preview event was only like 2 hours long, so you wanted to like have a game plan for pretty much everything you were going to do within the 2 hours. And we were waiting in line, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be up shortly," and what does that mean? I don't have a lot of time. So we were lucky enough to be able to ride it, but yeah, I mean, that could ruin somebody's trip.
Yeah,
That could ruin their experience, especially if there is only one ride at Super Nintendo World. And then they have like a secret um, Bowser Castle or a Bowser Jr. Castle if you collect the 3 golden mushrooms or whatever it is. You have to like show them your app and that you've done all of these like activities just to get into that room. How strict are they on that? I don't know. I wouldn't imagine that they would be that strict because
they probably
that's
are
also part
because
of
it's
the
probably a lot of
experience.
people trying to do it.
Yeah, but
The
that's
uh,
not a ride.
the one thing I did want to talk about, because I mean, I don't know if it's going to matter too much, but going to amusement parks now is super expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like going to Disney or going to Universal it is astronomically expensive, and it's unfortunate because it's gonna, a lot of people won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
So you'll have these cool worlds like Super Nintendo World, but people might never get to experience it because of the price.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Kelsey, and I'm like, we're going next year, and we need to have the cash to go. And she's all
Yeah.
on board. She says like she's excited because she's like, oh, I already have outfits that I'm gonna to do, and like not just for Super Nintendo World, but also for
Yeah.
the other parts of that park. Because what is also cool about that new park is there's a hotel on premise,
Mm-hmm.
and typically you stay at a resort, and then you have to take a shuttle or some form of transportation to get to the parks. And if
Yeah.
we could stay on the premise, it saves a lot of time, a lot of pain of walking.
Yeah.
And I wish it was Nintendo themed, but it's not because the whole park isn't Nintendo themed. It would have
Mm-hmm.
been really cool if it was just a Nintendo park. I doubt that we'll ever get that.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
But how that would be awesome if Nintendo was just like, all right, let's make everything. Let's make each section a different IP.
Mm-hmm. I like how Nintendo is always trying to give everybody an experience of some kind when it comes to Nintendo. Like every once in a while, they will tour around the country for you to play their games, and they have these booths that they set up and have Nintendo employees show you how to play the game. Like that's really cool, and that's usually at like a mall or something that you have to schedule time for, but it's free. Um, so even if people don't get to experience Super Nintendo World, at least they are thinking about those that can't and trying to give them something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, I wonder how they're. I mean, they don't promote it very much. Nintendo
What, Super
themselves.
Nintendo World?
Yeah, Super Nintendo World. At least not
I
that
mean,
I've seen.
yeah, it's still new.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
They
year.
did
That's pretty.
they promoted it during the Game Awards.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It was like a
Is that when
sweepstake.
they. Oh, that wasn't when they announced Donkey Kong.
No,
No. But I
but we
think.
should be hearing something about that soon. That's opening in Japan in spring, I think is what
Yeah, I
we
think
were
it's in
told.
spring.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo's smart. I think what they're doing is very smart right now. I have a feeling other companies might follow along. Maybe we will see some attractions pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw the Last of Us thing pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see some other things because I mean, us as gamers, we already know about Nintendo, right? We already know about their IP.
Yeah.
They're trying to find ways to bring in new people. So that's what the
Mm-hmm.
movies are for. That's what the the amusement parks are for.
That's what collabing with Lego is for.
Yeah. So if other companies see that succeeding, like now we're seeing more adaptations of video games
Mm-hmm.
because of how well the most recent ones have done with Last of Us, Super Mario, even Sonic. Like we've seen these companies notice like, oh, this is a untapped potential.
Yeah.
I guess it's just what IP are they going to use and where they're going to put it.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to talk to the guest next week. She probably has a lot more insight than I do. I just like going to parks.
I mean, I think a lot of people have more insight than you do.
That's probably true. It's probably true.
But yeah, I mean, listeners, what is it that you would want to see either at Super Nintendo World, or if there is a gaming IP that you would like to see the most, and like what ideas do you have for it? Do you think that this is going to last for a while? Is this just a trend? I think we're just in very exciting territory for gaming. Also dangerous time for gaming. You know, we've talked a lot about that before, but with Nintendo, it seems like their foot is on the gas and they're not letting go. I mean, we still need to know what is next in the future for their console. Maybe we'll hear something about it next week or the week
This
after
week.
that. I don't. You really think it's going to be this week?
100% this week. They announced the direct. I think it would be not tomorrow. Well, when this goes live, it would be, they would have announced it like that day, like Wednesday, and then it was on Thursday. The direct.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm also wondering if they want PlayStation to have like a week to themselves because
No,
we
screw
know
that.
that they.
Screw PlayStation.
Well, but that's
Nobody
usually
cares.
I feel like that's what they do is that they just give PlayStation a week.
I think they could
And then
easily
it's
overshadow
their
them. Like
turn.
who's gonna care about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when Nintendo's like, oh yeah, here's our next system. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But
don't
I
know.
do think it's funny that you're saying that we're in dangerous times for gaming because we're literally seeing it evolve in front of our eyes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we've talked a lot about just layoffs in general. Like it's costing so much for them to want to evolve that people are getting laid off because of it. So I hear what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's evolving. I don't know. Like, do you get what I'm saying though?
No, I understand. I mean, layoffs suck. I get it. But I don't know what we can do. Like, the only way these people won't get laid off is if the companies they make more money.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You
No,
know what
layoffs suck.
what world we will see?
What?
Pal World. Pal World is entering the theme parks. There's going to be pals in mascot outfits, and you just go around hitting them with a bat or punching them or
It's gonna be Pal World, or it's gonna be Super Nintendo World with guns.